your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah.
You know my joke about, you said you're Jewish. Do you know my joke about, I go, if you have a friend and you're not sure whether or not they're Jewish,
Yes.
they're not.
Oh, that's good.
Because Jewish people will tell you they're Jewish all the time.
Oh, that's so funny. Is that true?
Yeah. About what? Whether I do it on stage?
No. Is that true about Jews tell you they're Jews?
Oh, yeah. And I go about stuff that doesn't even make sense. Like, what'd you do this weekend? Well, we went out on Mike's boat. I sat in the front. I'm a Jew. And you're like,
It is true.
You're like, what?
No, that's so funny.
See, son of Zion. I'm not.
Son of
I don't
Zion.
I don't have a map for that.
It's true, because now that you said that, I'm like, are you going to camp or no? I'm a Jew.
I'm a Jew. I don't
Four
camp.
seasons.
But Jews are kind of known though for camping out.
Well,
mean,
in the original land.
Only for a millennia.
Yeah,
You guys
well,
just
that's
on the
true,
move.
too.
Pack it up, keep it moving. Joe Prano's here again.
Good to be here.
Hello,
and Jews
Joe.
go to summer camp always. Jews are big on summer camp.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you want to say camp and Jews in the
Yeah.
Joe. Jesus,
Jew camp.
one of the
Joe.
best lines in action ever.
What'd you do?
Remember in action when we went to go? Gil Junger's the guest. If you haven't read the show notes, remember in action when me and Buddy Hackett go to the rabbis to get them to invest in the movie, and I go, listen, Shlomo, the train is leaving the station, and I want you on that train. And he goes, Peter, Jews and trains, bad analogy.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, it was in the show.
It was written like that?
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
well, I
That
think
was-
written by Will Forte.
That show, and I had the pleasure of doing one or two. I don't really remember.
So fun.
But Jay, that show should have exploded. No, seriously, this is my opinion.
Yes, I know.
No, because it was so funny and so smart. It was kind of, because I complimented, you want the mic closer?
Yeah.
Jay, you're the
no, I
best.
just want-
No, hold, just, Jay, you're the best.
All right.
Okay, fine.
Push
that
it
where
back
you-
where it was. How's his
Where do you
audio?
want the
Good?
thing?
Right there. Perfect.
Turn
We're
up the
good.
gain. What the fuck's wrong with him?
Yeah, with this guy.
Um,
Action we were talking about.
Yeah. But I was part of another show that was way ahead of its time, but still did well. Soap, right?
Oh, wow.
But
that's
so
right.
yeah, you were 6, but when I did your show, not only were you hysterical, and I'm not saying that because I'm on your podcast, you're fucking funny, but I left thinking, oh my God, this show is ahead of its time. It's so clever.
You ever seen it, Joe?
Yeah.
There were some
I
and
loved
great actors, and it's like, wow.
Some bad ones too.
I don't know the bad ones. I can't remember.
I didn't know there were 6 networks until we took 6th place in our time slot on Thursday nights at 9:00.
You lost to CW, huh?
Friends,
Oh, well.
counter programming with WWF wrestling,
Oh, well.
which was massive.
Yeah.
Then you had Charmed. So like there was everybody was spoken
You didn't
for.
stand a chance.
No, and then I forget something else.
I wonder if they put it there intentionally. Maybe they didn't believe in it.
I asked. It's a famous story for me anyway. I go to Doug Herzog's office when we got canceled, and
Yeah.
I know Doug from like the neighborhood. Like I've known him for years.
Oh, no kidding.
So I go, Doug, you can't cancel us. You got to move us to another night. He goes, I don't have anywhere to put you. I go, put us on after that 70s show. He goes, I can't do it. It's a family show. I go, Doug, I watched it last week. They were all eating hash brownies. He goes, yeah, together as a family.
Oh, no. Is that what he said?
I go, fuck you.
Oh,
Doug."
that's a pretty good
And
answer.
he said it like smiling, like he knew he was full of shit.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's a family.
Gil, you've directed everything, and I'm really obsessed with your breakthrough company thing.
Oh,
and
it's
your,
awesome.
And you're a deep. I never knew you were this deep of a guy when I was looking at your thumbnails and going through the breakthrough company Instagram page and you on Barry Katz's podcast. Because you and I share. You were kind of going into the thing about like self-perception, how we perceive who we are when we have trauma as kids, or like.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of like working with guys in recovery. Like, no, listen, we're bad narrators. I'm a horrible narrator of what's actually happening, even in like my house with my wife.
Interesting.
Like it's all through the lens of, as an addict, selfishness, self-centeredness, which includes self-defeating. I'm only thinking about me if I'm kicking the shit out of myself, right?
100%.
Yeah, and you were talking about that on Barry's podcast.
Yeah.
If you could expound on it for this crowd, because this crowd don't listen to that crowd.
Oh, yeah, you don't listen to him?
Gentiles only.
So that's good. Let's see. How do I get into that? Okay. 3 years ago, I started a company called The Breakthrough Company, which I'm crazy proud of. And the mission, I know. But
What was that?
Because
Was that your bad narration? You thought I was going to judge whatever you were saying?
Yeah, of course, yes.
I was like, we're all ears.
Okay. So my mission has become in life, no joke, is I have discovered about 8 years ago, I discovered this crazy thing called self-love. I know. Go to Erewhon, shut the fuck up.
No.
But
I'm gonna tell you to stop doing that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're assuming we think you're like a half a Fanuc. Talking like, it's just, this is what we're talking about.
I was thinking 3/4 Fanuc.
Well, yeah.
It's better looking. So anyway, and what happened during that experience, I worked with this coach for 3.5 years. And basically what I did is I learned that my entire life, the way I perceived who I was and how I thought others were perceiving me was pretty brutal to me. Not smart. I honestly believed, even when I was one of the top sitcom directors in the world, I honestly believed that eventually someone's going to catch me and fire me. And they were going to say this, some head of a network. Hey, Gil, great show. Great. Oh, thanks. Actors love you, man. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, but there's a problem. Oh, yeah, you're funny. Oh, thanks. You're charming. Actors like you, but you're not very smart. We're going to have to let you go.
Wow.
I literally believe that even at the height of my directing career, at least in television, because I'm still directing.
The whole premise is ridiculous that people in show business have to be smart.
Well, that's true too.
Bunch of nudniks out here.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. But you know what? It's not just nudniks. It's the creative brain. The creative brain is wired differently than a neurotypical brain. This is a fact. This is my opinion. Okay? Dig this. You'll think this is cool, I think. If a neurotypical person, an average person, which is 99% of all people, right? You put a CAT scan on the side of their head and you put a tennis ball in front and the doctor says, what do you see? Okay? Immediately in the CAT scan, two lobes in the brain light up. It's called the left and right brain, which that's a misnomer, but that's okay. But two lobes immediately light up. You've seen those things. Okay, fine. If it's your brain or my brain, intelligent, creative people, same question, same CAT scan, 3 lobes in the brain immediately light up.
How many lobes are in a brain?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's 3 areas, sections of the brain immediately light up. Not 2, 3. So what that means is this. You and I are constantly being filled, seriously, I had a really bad joke. I'm glad I didn't say it. Are constantly being filled.
With cum. He was going to say with cum.
It was basically, that was kind of the joke, yeah. But anyway.
That's the creative brains right there.
You
guys are on the same cum
you
joke.
just said earlier ADHD or whatever you said.
But I also have ODD.
But, okay, listen.
I'm odd. So 3 lobes.
So it's 3 lobes.
Which means
on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, your brain is seeing, feeling, thinking way more intensely than a neurotypical brain. Now,
that makes total sense.
Okay, now watch. We also don't have a gene, which is basically a filter that a neurotypical brain has. You're going to like this when I wrap it up. Because let's say you and I have neurotypical brains, which obviously we don't, but we're standing on Times Square and we're talking to each other. What the normal brain does is if I'm talking to you, and it's Times Square, it's noises and things and strippers and stuff and car crashes and machines going off. But what the filter does for a normal average person It filters out all the noise.
Yeah, it seals it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it knows what
I'm talking to you.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
So it does you a favor and mutes everything else to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Our brains don't have that filter. This, again, not my opinion, medical fact.
Don't have it, or we choose to not use it in case something good rolls through?
It's interesting. It's a good question. The filter itself is much less active. Okay. It's like something wrong with it. Okay? So, how many times have you, in your life, have you said, oh my God, I couldn't get to sleep last night. I couldn't turn my fucking brain off. How many times? Like the majority?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Answer my question.
0. I'm a fucking animal. I sleep like a bear in a hibernation. Yeah, I'm weird.
Wow, that's weird.
I think I exhaust myself because of my lobes.
Oh, it could be.
Like I take a nap every day. I just woke up 45 minutes ago. I need half time from myself.
Yeah, because that engine, your brain, rips.
Yeah.
And it's giving you ideas and information and thoughts and things and perceptions all day long.
That makes total sense.
It's constant noise. Now,
yeah,
what comes with that, unfortunately, because I see that as a gift, but what also comes with it is with this type of wiring that we have a lower ability to generate dopamine and serotonin. It's just the way it works. That's the good with the bad. You take it, right? That's why people like, I don't know you, but people like you, or most creative people that I know.
Me, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know you.
You know you've read my file. You know what's up.
I read your file. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm here without protection. I'm wearing a condom right now.
I've never worn one in my life.
Huh?
Never.
Never. No. Wow.
Never. Roll the dice.
How many kids you got?
Roll 22.
Okay, that's a good one. So anyway, so what we have, and all of my friends are the same. You know Brian Callen, don't you?
Yeah.
You like Brian?
Who doesn't like Brian?
He's one of my greatest friends of all time. Yeah, I'm in love with him. Anyway, so what we have, all actors, all stand-ups, especially stand-ups, all comedians, anyone that's in the creative arts has this brain, which gives them the opportunity for brilliant, original thinking because of the 3 lobes. It also, unfortunately, if it goes unchecked, it causes depression, suicidal ideation, incredibly low self-esteem, imposter syndrome. That's why we all have it. And Jay, when I
wasn't sure I had it till right now, and now I'm like, I have it.
Joe, shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Joe, why are you talking?
Sorry.
You see what I'm up against?
I'm so sorry for you. Anyway,
drug addiction and alcoholism obviously is a byproduct of that too.
100%.
It's like an equalizer on a stereo. I got to figure out how to max my treble out all the time.
Perfectly. That's a great analogy.
And when I work with guys in recovery, when they're new, they get around 6, 7, 8, 9 months. They get super uncomfortable when things just are okay.
Yeah.
They get like,
because they're not used to it.
You walk downstairs in the lobby, you saw me on the phone with a guy.
Yeah.
He literally wanted to know, like, what do I do next?
Oh.
Meaning, but it was like, shot at, like, what about this? What about fitness? What about this? I'm like, you can only do one thing next. Pick that one thing.
Do you, are you, what are they, sponsor? Are you a sponsor? Yeah. You're an AA, obviously.
We're anonymous on the level of press, radio, and films.
I see. But if you
I belong to a 12-step program.
If you were in a 12-step program, how long have you been in said
4 years, 2 months.
Good for you, dude.
I was a maniac. Intervention, the whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
2 rehabs. Huh? You don't know this?
No.
They told me to get me to my intervention. I was told for this podcast at 8 a.m. at my house, I was going to interview Wu-Tang Clan. And I was so high, Gil, I thought that was true. I thought Wu-Tang Clan was coming over to my house.
Unbelievable.
At 8 in the morning. I thought the 8 blackest men alive were going to set their alarm clocks and come across town and walk into my cracker house so I could interview them and help them with their careers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And Kyle hasn't gotten me fucking Wu-Tang since. Cocksucker.
Kyle.
So let me ask you about your creative brain.
So wait. I was sober for 20 years, by the way.
Yeah, you gave it up.
I did, yeah.
But if it works, then fine.
No. I'm not saying I'm saying follow my lead. But at the age of 30, I don't need to get into the story. But after I died in Las Vegas, dead, out of body, looking down.
Really?
Oh yeah, the real deal.
Tell us the story.
Gone.
It's more stories. So go ahead.
Oh, it's more stories. I didn't understand. I didn't know that meant more. It's like a play on words.
Well, that's my dad's last name.
Yes.
You gave it to me.
That's so nice.
And we tell stories here. Tell it. Well, you can't just say like I died and just go to the next thing.
Okay.
You're gonna have to come back because I realized this is. I'm telling you, this guy's. I was so excited Gil was coming on.
Okay. You really want me to tell that story?
Who fucking doesn't? Who fucking says they died? And like, you know, well, you don't
In
want to hear
Vegas,
about
looking down on my body.
looking down on my
That's good.
body, but
keep it
Papa,
moving.
you
Go
know,
back to
blah
your,
blah blah.
Well, I just was basically
You're more
saying
about frontal lobes.
I was sober. I was sober for 20
Lobes,
years.
not lobes. You
I
fucking.
said lobes.
The lobes. It's the
Sounds like
lobes.
he's saying lobes. Say it again.
Lobes.
Sounds like he's saying lobes.
Don't. He's mean to you.
I know.
No, I
You
know
don't
he's the
deserve
foil. He's the foil.
But you don't deserve this. Okay, you're better than that.
Thank you.
Would you have an OD?
Well, okay, I'll tell you exactly what's going on. 2 weeks before I was in Vegas, I was shooting.
Dope.
Oh, I've done that too. I don't remember what TV show, but I went to Vegas I was working on some ABC show, and they had this special night where all of the top ABC shows that evening were all in Vegas and all the shows intermingled, one of those things. Fine. Well, 3 weeks before I was to go to Vegas, I had a premonition. And I've only had very few premonitions in my life, 3, and I paid attention every time, right? But this premonition was when you go to Vegas, one of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to die or you're going to get fired. Now, for me at that time, all of my self-esteem and in my perceived self-worth was that I had a cool job and I was good at it. You know, I had a cool job because I didn't really think much of myself, right? So you can understand like getting fired would be almost equivalent to dying. Okay, fine. So then I think it was like the next week, I went to go see my shrink in Beverly Hills. And that was like kind of one of my safe havens. Yeah. You know, I could always say, oh my God, I did this. And I went in there after having the premonition, right? A couple of days later. And my guy comes in and I'm like, oh God, a safe place. And he walks in and he says, Gil, you know what I think? I just don't think I can help you as much as you need help. So what I've done for you, Gil, is I have a couple suggestions. I've contacted both of these gentlemen. They're brilliant doctors. And I want you to call them because I think they'd be much more helpful for you, for your particular issue, whatever it's called. And I looked at him, swear to God, I was 29. And I looked at him and I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, you're bullshitting me. What do you mean? I said, you think I'm going to die. And you don't want to have a dead client. And I swear to God, Jay, he just was stunned. And he said, you're right.
Were you using then?
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. So maybe that was his soft shoe attempt to get you into a program.
No, it wasn't a program. He just thought I needed a lot more help.
Okay.
I was too close to the end.
I hear a lot of stories where a therapist is like, I can't help you because they don't know how to deal with.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. So he said, so that's what I said. I said, you think I'm going to die? And you don't want to have a dead guy on your roster. And he looked at me and he said, Gil, you're right. I don't give you more than 2 weeks to live. This is a doctor telling me this. And I remember when I walked out of that, his office, I was like, the world was spinning because I thought the one guy I'm paying to believe in me. I'm paying him to help me, right?
Yeah.
Even he doesn't believe in me, right? And then, so I had the premonition again. This is like a week before I went to Vegas to work on, I wish I knew the show. And
Sullivan and Son.
Fine, Sullivan and Son.
10 Things I Hate About You.
No, okay.
Blossom.
Okay, yeah, okay.
8 Simple Rules.
No, it was a long time ago, dude.
It's a Living.
It's a Living.
Love that show. But go ahead.
Anyway, so I went out with Crystal Bernard. I'm proud of that. So
push.
Anyway, I have the same thing again, the same scary premonition.
Yeah, but how'd you die?
Okay, fine. So
Him and Cats. That must be an 11-hour episode.
You can edit this thing. So I go to Vegas and I do my thing. You know, I wasn't directing yet. I think I was associate producer or something on some sitcom. And did my job. Everything's fine. But I didn't bring any Coke. I was doing a lot of Coke. I didn't bring any Coke. I didn't bring any barbiturates. I didn't bring anything. I just went to work because I thought I'm not going to get fired because of drugs. That's for sure. So, excuse me, I go there and do the day's work. I go back to my room, and my buddy, Gary, he was my getting high buddy and coworker.
Marshall.
And Gary Marshall and Penny.
You want to get high? Come over here, get high.
So anyway, so we're sitting in my room, and
put that up your nose, your plots.
and Gary said to me, "You don't look good." What are you talking about? You don't look good. You look sick. Dude, I'm not sick. He said, "No, seriously, you're green. Literally, Gil, you're green." And I answered him, but when I answered him, I heard myself slurring, like when you're drunk.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any drugs or anything in me.
Stroke?
No. Or I don't know. Okay. So anyway, Gil had a stroke. So anyway,
my bingo card.
So Gary says, you should just stay there. I'm going to go hit the tables, gambling, and just get some sleep.
You don't look good. I'm going to go gamble.
Well, what's he going to say? No, that's true too.
You're slurring your words. I'm going to go play some blackjack.
We weren't the warmest of friends. No, that's not true.
Ladies.
So he starts to go. And when he says that to me, that I should just sleep, right? I was never belligerent, ever. I've never been one of those guys, start a fight, do stupid shit. It's not my nature. And because I'm small. You can't be belligerent. So all of a sudden, I just laid into him, and it was so weird. I'm like, don't fucking tell me what to do, blah, 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 blah. And I started to go. I started to leave, and I lost my balance. I fell against the wall, seriously, and I couldn't get off the wall. I literally couldn't push my body off the wall. And then I started to feel like all of a sudden I was weighing 200 pounds, 250, 300, 350, but my body shape was the same. It was like I was getting denser. I don't know how to...
You're pulling G's in a jet.
Yeah, maybe that's a good analogy. Another one. Look at you, Mr. Analogy.
I'm just trying to speed it along.
Oh, sorry. So you have editing. You've heard of editing?
Yeah, but I lose the studio in an hour.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So I couldn't get off the wall.
I farted.
Gary picks me up.
I laughed so hard I farted.
And he puts me in the bed, and then he leaves, and I'm starting to feel heavier and heavier, and I had a scratch on my forehead, an itch, and my brain said, scratch it, obviously. Nothing. And I remember looking down at my fingers, and I said, wiggle your fingers. Nothing.
Oh.
Right? Then I started to feel so fucking heavy, like, I don't know, imagine what 600 pounds would feel like in my frame. And all of a sudden, I felt this. Whoosh. And my insides dropped out. I had an absolute sensation of whatever is in me fell through me and out of me, right? And it felt like it was, I could imagine it was going through the floors and going back to the earth.
To the lobby.
Through the lobby, but below, right? So I had this thought, which is something I have never thought before.
Why do you keep looking at Joe?
Because I like Joe.
But I'm talking to me.
Oh, I am. Yeah, you're very interesting. But
His camera's over here.
The camera's over there.
I got more than one question.
Okay, so
holy shit.
So my thought was, I get it. I am returning to Earth's natural cycle. And then in a nanosecond later, I thought, what is this, postcards from the edge? I don't think that way, right? And then I thought to myself, what's happening, of course. And then I heard a voice, a man's voice, very loving, very warm, but not fucking around. And the man's voice said, you have 10 days, take your pick. And I knew what he meant. And then it was because, how often do you hear a voice? And then I thought, wait, what? And the man's voice again said, you have 10 days, take your pick. And the next thing I knew, it was 11 o'clock the next morning. My eyes were so puffy that I had to put ice on them to open them. And I left the show. I flew right back to my company, the company I worked for.
You still don't remember the show?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I was 29. It'd be easy enough to find out. It was 25 years in, so it was
All right, I know, keep going.
Yeah. So, and I told my boss, I said, guys, I've got a serious drug problem, and I got to get sober now. And I'm so fucking sorry I have to leave. And because that's all, it meant everything to me. And then I went home.
All tied up to your ego and your self-worth.
300%.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at now. It's like, I don't really, because when you get sober, you have to demolish the ego every morning. I got to get up, hit my knees, get rid of my ego, get rid of my ego, get rid of my
Good
ego.
for you.
Because it's a self-centered, selfish disease that starts in my mind. I may not be much, but I'm thinking about at all times. And then you get back into show business and it's like, hey, you want to go to England and do 2 weeks on this movie? It's like, not really.
Really?
Because I'm not chasing anything anymore.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I got nothing to
I got
prove.
just enough money.
Oh, yeah, you got plenty of money, I'm sure.
No.
Well, okay.
We are self-supporting through our own contributions.
Oh, yeah, look at you.
You talking about my old lady?
No.
Oh, that's what everybody assumes, that I'm just in Jeannie's pocket all the time.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
So anyway.
And I had a similar thing happen to me on a plane that got struck by lightning with The Voice, so I know how legit your story is. I was flying to do Cherry Falls, so I was flying into D.C., and we were on a 777, which is just bizarre to begin with, because it's like every row is your own personal living room. And as we were landing, we're over the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
We get hit by lightning. Boom! When the plane, I'm used to turbulence, but fishtailing is a whole different thing.
For real.
I was like, holy moly. Wah, 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 wah. Alarms. Whoop, 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 whoop. And the pilot comes on pretty quickly and says, ladies and gentlemen, we've been struck by lightning. We're okay. We're okay. We've been struck by lightning, and a 777 is a massive airplane, able to this is just once you get over. And as he's talking, boom!
Another one.
And he never comes back on the radio.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm in the front row of first class. I had a Walkman. I was listening to
Walkman.
Eric Clapton when he did that acoustic blues album of all covers, all blues covers.
Oh, wow.
And I remember the song, If I Mistreat You, Child, the show don't mean no harm. And I remember I looked back over my shoulder and the entire plane was holding hands across the aisles, going all the way back. Looked like a centipede.
Wow.
Like, and there was like, I saw like, for some reason there was like two rabbis. I saw like, it was just like something out of like a joke. Two rabbis are on a plane with this guy. There was like a military guy, like in full uniform, just all the way back. And
Holy shit.
I went, oh, I must have missed some announcement with these headphones on.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, yeah. And I realized this is it. And I'm looking down I can see the water and we're still fishtailing. And it's like, obviously this guy does not have control of this airplane.
Oh, boy.
And I saw two specific things from my childhood, like a picture book of the hard thing where I mistreated animals. I get choked up like bad. And I went, oh wow, if this is the movie of my life, this isn't good.
Right, you're going down.
And this is what I'm being shown on outside of my body, but inside of my body.
Oh,
I'm being shown
wow.
like, remember this?
Yeah.
And I went, oh, and then like a tome picture book of every time I had ever made anyone happy.
Oh. From
like cognitive thought on. And at one point I was in a wheelchair in my own audience at the Tempe Improv. And this guy I felt this man's relief from his wheelchair watching me. I could see me on stage. I was in this man's chair.
Wow.
Like finally there's some good in my life. Like that overwhelming joy.
Yes.
That I brought this stranger that I'll never know who he is.
Of course.
And it just kept going and going. And my sisters and my parents and my this and the neighborhood and the touch football games and everything. It was only specifically when I made somebody feel better.
Well, that's nice.
And I went, oh, wow. Okay. And then that voice said to me, human beings are like you said, like, I don't talk like this.
Yeah. Human
beings are the noblest of creatures because they're sent to earth to co-create with God. And just like you, I went, what?
Wow.
And it was like a ticker tape. It used to come out like,
yeah.
It was just a matter of fact. It wasn't particularly loving. It was authoritative, but it was just data. And I was like, what? And again, it said human beings are the noblest of creatures because they're sent to earth. So now I'm a creature mixed in with everything.
Yeah.
And then all I said, every bug, everything in the ocean. I'm just this thing, a part of this hybrid, this giant thing. Right.
It's true.
And I realized suddenly I was soaking wet as if I just got out of a swimming pool. I had tears streaming down my face.
Oh my God.
My eyes were puffy like yours. I could hardly open them.
Thanks.
And no, like you said.
In my story.
Yeah, no, like you said.
Yeah.
And I realized it was I don't know, like this vessel of me wasn't equipped to handle whatever that release, whatever those memories were, had to come out somehow. They came out through my pores.
Wow.
The joy, I wasn't able to contain. I can't hold this much joy, so it came out through my pores. My hair was wet, like I came out of a sauna or a steam room.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I will serve you whatever my higher power was.
Yeah.
Hey, you got me.
Oh,
You got me.
I
What
love
a
that.
life. And I said, let the next lightning strike blow this plane to smithereens. So my sister Virginia, I have two, for some reason, Virginia. So my sister Virginia doesn't have to see that I suffered when she watches the news. Let this just be a fireball, the next lightning strike. And as I finished that thought, boom!
No.
And the plane just settled in.
Okay.
And then we land.
Okay, that's...
People are weeping, getting off the plane, immediately hitting the ground in that little tunnel thing that attaches to the plane, that tube. They're getting down on all fours. They're walking on
Literally.
all fours up the
For
tube.
real.
Up the tube. I'm in Richmond, Virginia at my hotel, and I'm not, something ain't, I keep, well, we're going to have to come back because this, I kept, as I was walking during the next 2 or 3 days, I kept having visceral memories of the plane crashing.
Oh, shit.
Like pitch blackness and water rushing in from behind me. And my last thought is, okay, I got that bulkhead thing and there's an entrance there. I just got to feel my way in the dark. And ice fucking cold. Like a cold no man knows. Because it was the Chesapeake Bay in March or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would go, woo. Like the Yes video, owner of a lonely heart, where the guy goes, boom. And it has those little shocks. And it's like an eagle grabbing something. I was having that as my walking day. So I'm like, so in my logic, the coin flipped as to whether or not we lived.
Right.
You're going to live. But for some reason, I got a peek
at
when the coin was a billionth of an inch off the table. I can peek in there. And I somehow, with that third lobe, I was able to experience the other side of that coin.
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't told that story since I told it to Pete Holmes.
You're a real one-upper.
That's an incredible story.
So tell me again about how you almost died.
No.
It's going to be called two stories.
It's an incredible story. The little addendum to that story is, and then I went to, the power of addiction, which I know you know. So I go home after I told my bosses.
And that's pre any like real drug use.
Me?
No, me.
Oh, you. Yeah, no, this was all drug. And, but this is how deep I was addicted. So I have this experience, death, right? Dead, right? Hear a voice, the whole thing.
600 pounds.
600 pounds.
A fat death.
Fat death, right? So then I tell the bosses, I'm so sorry, guys. I can't believe I have to leave the show. Benson. That's what the show was. It was Benson.
Robert Guillaume.
Wow, good memory.
Backup fan of the opera.
So, yeah. So I go home, and at the time, it was embarrassing. At the time, I was dating the 30th anniversary playmate. And
that's embarrassing?
Okay, fine. But anyway, so I go home, right? And there she is, right? And she says, hey, what are you doing home? I got tickets for Bowie tonight. And I looked at her. Of course she wasn't wearing any clothes. That's not made up for this. She just happens to be in my bedroom naked.
Yeah.
Right? And I looked at her and she holds these tickets and she's so excited to see me. And you know what I thought? Well, God said I got 10 days. I swear on my parents'
I can't believe I interrupted your story with my story when you had that button on it.
That, I swear to God, I went, I got 10 days.
You're negotiating the terms of your surrender.
I did.
Yep.
So I fucking partied.
Under pressure.
For 7 days. I mean, I was smoking base, which is now they call crack.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very intense, 7 days.
You're smoking crack before it was crack.
Yeah, it was called base back then. Yeah,
Pre-base, Joe.
Yeah.
Pre-crack. And then, anyway, so I go into then I have a person take me on the 7th day, and I check into Cedars. It was a Cedars rehab thing. And I meet with all the people, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm signing in. You'll dig this. And I say all these pages. You have to sign your life away just in case you die. You know what I mean? Sign. And then on the last page, and I swear this is the truth, on my parents' life, this is the truth. I signed my name on the last page, and I heard the same man's voice. And he said, I almost started crying. And he said, everything's going to be okay. I heard the same man's voice. So that was pretty intense.
Have you ever heard that voice through other humans in your life, like regular people?
Oh, that's interesting. No, but that experience, that was the first time.
No.
He did? He didn't do well. You're really talkative. But that experience has helped me in many, many ways because I never believed in God. I basically grew up thinking God was for the poor. Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong.
For the people that have a shitty life. Yep. So what are you going to do? You can't eat. You're hungry.
I got Playmates and Freebase. What the fuck? What do I need God
but
for?
I used to think it was for the poor people. Mm-hmm. I hate to say that, but that's what I thought. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a crutch for people that lives sucked. Right? But what I realized, that was how I created this, my own personal concept of God, because I think that voice was God, and I think it was within me.
Of course it is. And both.
But this is, I didn't know any of this.
Greatest line in the big book, why not come up with your own conception of God? It's like, because, it's just so great, because guys fight so hard on the God thing.
Oh, I hated the God.
Especially when you go to a program.
I
guys
hated
are
it.
like, this God stuff. And I always tell them, I go, let's be honest. If Jesus had fentanyl, you'd fucking hitchhike to the Inland Empire to suck his dick. So what are we even fucking talking about?
Wow. That's good.
When I was in rehab, my second day, I was in there with a bunch of Mexican gangbangers. And this place was great, Covenant Hills. And when I was there, we're in line at it was like the TV room, but there were snacks. And I went in there and I'm looking at the different chips. And this gangbanger, Eli, looks at me and he goes, what was your drug of choice? I said, Adderall, pills. I love pills.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, huh. And then he just looks at me and goes, are you done? And it was just one of those full, like the tide stopped coming in for a second. And I just went with every fiber of my being. I went, yeah. But he's not that kind of a guy. Like in hindsight, somebody was speaking to that guy to me because he's,
I see.
He's kind of like a knucklehead boxer.
Yeah.
It's like, are you done?
Well, that's the voice. Yeah. So that was the universe talking to you.
But
and by the way, you just said it was like the tide stopped for a second. That's the third lobe. Normal people they're not that fast.
You live on the beach ever?
Yeah. I lived in Point Doom.
So you hear the ocean from your bed?
I used to, but then I got divorced.
Now
I hear garbage trucks.
You were lying.
I'm just kidding.
Twice.
But I did live in
there was sometimes because you hear the ocean, it's like this song that never stops, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then I don't know if you ever had this experience, but I'd be laying in bed in that almost asleep, and then it wouldn't come in, and it would like terrify me.
Oh, weird.
I would like snap awake.
That's weird.
Like there was no.
Yeah. It didn't splash.
It was just quiet for a while, and it would make me like jump out of bed.
That's weird.
Yeah, I thought so. So you never had, but you're big on like, I always said when I worked with Ellen Burstyn, two people, Ellen Burstyn and Al Pacino were the two people when I was acting opposite them. I was no longer seeing Al Pacino or Ellen Burstyn saying the lines that I'd heard 50 times in rehearsal. Ellen Burstyn played my mom as I was dying.
Oh.
And when I opened my eyes in my hospital bed and she was crying, it was my mother. And she it's almost like she dragged me up to her level for those scenes. And I just started crying because it was the most heartbreaking thing I'd ever seen. Her face killed me. So it was like this complete transcendental moment.
Okay.
As a director, have you had
this?
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly what that is, and that is exactly what I'm trying to help actors get to.
We're back.
No. It's exactly what I'm teaching at the Breakthrough Company. Why? How did you get to that place? I'll tell you how you got to that place without even realizing. And this is what I try to teach my actors, and it seems to be working. True acting greatness, right, is when every fucking thought is turned off. Mm-hmm. When you're, I know it sounds corny, when you're an open vessel of your own creativity.
Yeah.
The problem with 99% of all actors I've ever worked with, and I've worked with a lot, as you know, is that they're always thinking. They're thinking and self-judging. So if you're busy,
Am I crying yet? I'm not crying. Oh, I'm really crying.
100%.
Look how I'm crying.
No, 100. You're constantly monitoring because you're so terrified of being judged poorly. I get it. Me too. Right? And what I'm helping actors do, which I think is a pretty amazing feat, is my mission, going back to the beginning, is to teach actors how to disregard their self-limiting beliefs so that their true creativity can just fucking fly. And the difference after people take a few workshops from me, I'm not plugging myself, this is just the fact. It's unbelievable. When you see an actor play a thing, I give her 6 or 7 notes. We talk about it for a minute, right, in the workshop. And then they do what I ask, exactly what I asked to do. And not only do they crush it, like I had no idea that girl had that depth. And they're crying afterwards. And I say, how did that feel? And they say, I don't even know. I've never felt that before. My whole body was shaking. Because that's the gift that we all have. Yeah. But actors in general, and all creative people, they get in their own way because they're always self-critiquing. You got to shut the fucking noise off.
But I had no say in my brain. I opened my eyes and I was greeted with the external variable, which was Ellen Burstyn.
Yes, but what I'm saying is,
I had no. Yeah, go ahead.
You were open.
Oh yeah.
It was like, you know,
I starved myself. I was probably hallucinating from not eating. So
no. It was like, did you ever see 10 Things?
No.
Okay.
I can't lie to you.
Huh?
I can't lie to you. No.
Okay, fine. Well, it's a great movie.
Starring Heath Ledger.
Yes. And Julia Stiles.
So yeah, and Julia Stiles. Well, one of the most memorable things from that entire movie, still today, was this Julia Stiles speech, the poem that she read at the end. Okay, we rehearsed it, of course. And I shot it, and while I'm shooting it, I'm thinking, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" I mean, it was so much better than what we had done, right? Anyway, and I'm on the dolly, like I'm riding on the dolly going in, and as we're going in, I just saw something very different on her face. I'm not joking, right? And then she just crushed it, and I was sobbing during it, sobbing. I don't mean like. I was sobbing because I couldn't believe what I was seeing because it was genius.
Well, that's the gig, isn't it? Is get people to trick you into believing what's make-believe is not make-believe. To oversimplify. To oversimplify,
yes.
Because the Pacino thing was he...
But wait, let me finish. But what happened was...
Well,
I'm the director. I got to
talk. That's fine. I just want to work in my Al Pacino. Gil Junger. Hoorah. What happened was,
So... I'm crying, and I'm literally, no joke, I'm on the dolly, as close as I am to Joe. I'm covering because I don't want to ruin the take. The mic's right where Joe's mic is, right? So I'm crying, and I'm holding it in, and I'm holding it, and I can't even believe it. And then she looks at Heath, and she just starts, oh my God, there was so much pain in her face. Boom, cut! And I jumped off the thing, and I threw my arms out to just hug her, right? And she flew into my arms. She was shaking like a fucking leaf. And she says, I have no idea what I just did. I have no idea how that happened. I had no idea I was going to cry. I honestly don't know what just happened to me. She fully surrendered to her creative genius. And that's why it was so different. That's why it was so magical. It's like the greatest artist, if you think about it. Picasso's not thinking, is it weird if I put the nose over here?
He just vibes it out.
Huh?
He just vibes it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's total flow. But the problem and the catch-22 in this is that creatives are so self-judgmental that, you can do a great job and you can do a great performance and everything, but to hit it consistently, you got to have this total pure trust in yourself and totally let go and not give a flying fuck about what they think of your audition. And I tell them how to prepare to do this.
Yeah, one of your audition cheat sheet I wanted to get to.
Oh, it's amazing.
I know you said you don't want to plug yourself, but I want to plug for you.
Oh.
We have a coupon for anybody who wants to take your thing for $50 off with promo code J50.
Oh, wow.
So if anybody wants to do the breakthrough,
I use my own coupon?
You can use your own coupon. Anybody who's listening.
You're a guy I would totally trust
J50.
to do that with. I've never taken an acting class.
Oh, if you think at all that you can do better in your auditions?
Oh, I know. Well, now it's self-tape, so I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
If you think you can do any better at
of
all,
course, I can do a lot better.
I can change you
Okay. I'm in.
quickly.
Magic word to
No,
an
no,
addict.
no, no. As a matter of fact, I just completed this thing called the Toolbox. Took me 6 months, and it is 10 of the greatest suggestions I've ever thought of to help an actor deliver an authentic performance. Totally get inside. And it's a 10-episode little thing. It's a little course with a study guide and the cheat sheet for the Toolbox.
You come in next week, I get a bathrobe and a cigarette holder.
I'm a great actor. But
Like John Barrymore over here.
look, I'll give you a pass for the course. You won't believe it. You won't believe how good it is.
What does live forward mean?
Yeah, what was that? Where did I say that?
On your one of your Instagram posts, it was a 2-camera thing about how to live forward.
Oh, wow.
Want me to take that part out?
Yeah, I don't recall. I remember saying live forward.
Drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote it down?
I have all the thumbnails. Live forward, drifting. You have one called drifting. Routine versus intentions. I know you got something on that.
Oh, wow.
Is this your course? Go.
Is it
That's
good?
when he's just flowing.
Oh,
now.
this is all from the Breakthrough Company?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so
on
kind.
that Instagram.
Oh, wow. Well, what's the one about routines and what?
Routines versus intentions.
Oh, yeah. Because we're all stuck in our patterns, our routines. It's the same reason that all actors sound the same. Most actors, 90% of actors sound the same in an audition. You would be stunned if you sat next to me. Have you ever directed?
No.
Oh, have you ever produced?
Yeah.
But have you ever been in casting sessions? Okay, and you got 27 actors, and they all look different, but it's kind of the same reading.
Same words, same, yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're all taught the same thing. They're all taught to understand the character through analysis. Wrong right off the bat.
Okay.
I disagree with every single acting school in the world. It's my
Analysis
opinion.
meaning who is this person?
Yeah.
Where's he coming from? What does he want?
Substitutions, what's his objective?
Okay.
You write it down, you take a note, you think about something else. Oh, it'd be funny if he walks with a limp, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all of
It would be funny if he walked with a limp.
Of course, limps
See
are funny.
Goodfellas, Spider.
But all of that thinking that is taught in every acting school I've ever heard of or even been to, because I've taken acting classes, it's all thinking based and it's all outward thinking. In other words, what if he does this? I wonder how that would affect I wonder if he's in a fight with his wife, I wonder how he would respond. Okay, well, first of all, there is no he. There is no character.
It's very Mamet. Yeah.
I don't know.
Mamet's huge on this.
But there is no character. It's just words on a page.
Right.
And here you are taking this imaginary character and trying to guess what the director wants to see. It's ridiculous. The thing that I want to see in an audition is an authentic version of Jay. What do I mean by that? So let's say you're reading for something. Oh, let's pick a film like Jerry Maguire. Okay, so you come into audition, right? For me, I'm saying what this director wants. Also, if I may, right off the bat, there's a problem in how people learn to act. Okay, and now I'm not talking about, all I'm focused on is the audition, because that's either you get the audition or you don't work.
Right.
So my whole Breakthrough Company is all about how to nail your audition. It's not about acting. I don't want to teach acting. I don't even like it. I wouldn't even want to do it, right? Okay, fine. So I'm not saying acting classes are bad, but they don't know how to teach how to audition, in my opinion. The first thing I say to all of my people that go through, and thousands have gone through my thing already, is the first thing you do when you get your pages, when you get your sides, take a black magic marker and cross off every stage direction, cross off every parenthetical, and cross off all the punctuation. All of it gone. Okay? Because, it says angry, happy, sad, trying not to cry, trying to cry. All those.
Rubs his face and thinks hard.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's all of those things that every actor on the planet thinks, oh, they're giving me a clue to what the director wants. Okay, where's the problem in that? The problem in that is who's teaching these classes, these audition classes? Acting coaches and acting teachers. and sometimes casting directors.
None of whom are working as actors.
And even more importantly, what are they teaching you? What a director wants to see in an audition. How would they know? How would they know?
Okay.
They're not directors. So the whole thing right off the bat that I'm teaching is so different because I'm teaching people how to get to what I want to see. And I'm kind of known for being a pretty good casting person. You know what I mean?
That thing about the transcendental acting that I experienced, have you been in a casting session where when they just started doing the scene, you went, whoa, wow.
Yeah, that's the person I cast.
Okay. But it can't always happen by every time. This guy's the best one.
Oh, no, I keep casting until I go, oh, shit.
Where somebody kind of like rearranged your molecules a little like,
Yes. Here, can I tell you about when I cast Heath?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Heath Ledger and 10 Things About You.
Yeah, Heath Ledger, yeah.
You gotta bring Joe up to speed.
Wait, Joe. Yeah, there was a movie called
10 Things I Hate About You. I've seen it.
Yeah. See, I like Joe.
Why are you gonna interrupt?
I can't believe you've never seen it. It's actually very good. I mean,
I'll watch it now.
It's good.
So Heath comes in.
So, okay. I've read 253 guys. Now, no, I'm not joking.
It's amazing.
And before I tell the story, I have to say I'm walking a very fine line.
Even Asians.
That's funny. I'm walking a very fine line with you, Jay, right now.
Okay.
And the fine line, the balancing act I have to do right now, because I'm going to tell the truth of this story, but I run the risk of either being canceled or going viral. But I'm going to take the risk again.
Let's hope it's the latter or both.
Aw. Okay. So here's the truth of the story. I've read 253 guys. Marsha Ross, who was the head of casting at Disney, not a small job, told me that she was sending me about 1 out of every 10. So that means she's read 2,500 actors. The casting department, right? And they send me 1 out of 10. Okay, fine. I'm at number 253. Okay? And I'm 3 weeks out. I don't have the lead. I'm 3 weeks out, and I am a picky motherfucker. I either know it, or either I believe it, or I don't. That's it. Yeah. It's not like, kind of, maybe I can get him there. So she says, it's one of these.
Real quick, do you know as soon as the person comes through the door? No.
Hear the story.
Okay.
So all these guys, and they're all of them are incredibly great looking, ripped 18-year-old boys. I'm like, what the fuck? I know I was in heaven. No, I'm just kidding. And so it's another one. And then she says, you want to take a break? You want to keep going? I said, let's just keep going. And she said, look, I don't know the next kid. It's a favor for an agent who I trust. And he begged me to please bring this boy in straight to the director. So she said, look, if he sucks, just cut him off after the first page and don't worry about it. I said, okay, bring him in. So in walks Heath Ledger, but I didn't know it was Heath Ledger yet, right? He took 4 steps into the room, Jay. No joke. He took 4 steps into the room, and I thought exactly this. If this motherfucker can speak English, I'm going to cast him. On my parents' life. It was like, what? And then he comes in, he read the first.
And says,
wouldn't that have been fantastic?
Like,
No, that would have been fantastic. And, there were 10 pages of sides because it was the lead, right? He finished the first page of 10. And I said, okay, put the sides down. And he went ashen. He just flew 17 hours to meet me, right? I said, no. Trust me. This is a good thing. I know exactly what I'm doing. You're very talented. I said, let's just do a little improv. Because I wanted to see if he was facile, if his brain was facile, like your brain it obviously is. So we did some improv. We did improv for about 30 seconds. No joke. Just me and him, right? And I go, okay, he's good, right? And I said, we're done. And he said, but I just got here. I said, dude, we're done. And I could see he was terrified. So I made him feel good. And I told him the truth. I said, Heath, I can't say it's going to be this movie, but I promise you right now, you're going to have a very big career. You should be very proud of yourself. To make him feel better, right? So he stands up, I stand up. The 5 casting ladies in the room, they all stand up, right? Shake, shake. And thank you for coming in, blah, blah. The instant the door closed, this is so true. The instant the door, the click, the door closed, I turned to the ladies and I said, ladies, I have never wanted to sleep with a man. But if I had to sleep with a man, that would be the man. Cast him immediately.
So I can sleep with him.
No, yeah, right. And then he was hired before he got to his car.
Really?
Instantly hired before he got to his car. Why? Because A, he didn't listen to any of the stage directions. He wasn't like every other actor who's been through the same fucking acting school and the same beat and the same look and the same wonder and the same laugh on the same. It was just pure him. There was a confidence to him that was unbelievable. And it held true for the entire shoot. And I liked working with him so much that I'd pick him up on my way to set. Because he was so fucking cool without being cool. He just owned who he was. And that's what I teach my actors. I say to them, as I say to you, the most interesting thing about you as an actor, Jay, is your life experience. It's not your craft. It's not if you know how to turn a joke. It's who you are as a person. And that's what I'm trying to infuse in all of my actors that come through the Breakthrough Company. You've already rehearsed. How old are you? 32, they say. And I said, you've been rehearsing for this for 32 years. How long is it going to take you now that you've been rehearsing? How long does it take? I even say, if it takes you more than 40 minutes to shoot a self-tape, you're doing something wrong.
It takes me 4 minutes.
Well, because that's your brain is that guy.
Because I'm so woefully unprepared. Like, I'm in my house next to a ping pong table against a white wall. I got some guy to come over with a tripod. I do it. If it feels good, I go, all right. And he goes, do you want to watch it? No, I don't want to watch that.
I can make you better.
I will.
I'm going to give you the break.
I'm in. But let me just pay the price that everybody pays.
No, it's okay.
Minus the $50 for promo code J50.
Yeah, give me a $50 discount. Promo code J50?
J50.
Okay, it's true. J50.
J-A-Y 50.
Capital J-A-Y 50. For any of your listeners that want anything from my company, I have 2 e-courses and a workshop, which actors love.
What part of town do you live in now?
That's personal.
Just give me a quad. Am I going to have to drive to the valley for this?
No.
I was going to say that I'm out.
Yeah, I know. I live in Mar Vista.
Oh, you're right by me. I'm in Playa.
Oh, no kidding.
So,
anyway,
we're running out of time real quick. Greatest audition where the guy or gal didn't get the role? Because I've been told you had the single greatest, for a role I did not get. I've had people 2 different times say to me, 10 years after the fact, that was the single greatest audition I've ever seen in my life.
And they didn't cast you?
No.
That's a good question.
No respect at all, I tell you.
I have no idea who you were imitating. Certainly wasn't Rodney. I'm just saying it wasn't good if it was.
No, I don't do Rodney. It was my Seinfeld.
I don't recall that, but I will tell you that I have cast and gotten into big fights with the network over casting the lead of a show that the network didn't believe in.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see what I saw.
That happened to me with Glenn Gordon Caron on Picture Perfect. He really went to the wall for me.
Yeah, I go to, I mean, no.
And then when I was fucking around on set, he melted down. He's like, I went to the fucking wall for you.
For real?
Yeah, I was like, I was 25 years old. I was nuts.
Wow. That's so young.
Yeah, I was a baby. I'm 54 now. Got rehab in my rearview mirror.
54.
Don't really have the ego in me as much, so I'm just
as
like
much.
Whatever. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a survival.
What did you work on?
Jeff Foxworthy show.
Was that what it was?
And Action.
Yeah, but what else did you by chance? Wait a minute. Didn't you do that pilot with me and Brian Callen called?
No.
You sure?
I don't think I ever did a pilot with Brian. I remember that. Brian's fucking bonkers. I love him so much.
Oh my God.
Have you done his podcast, The Fighter and the Kid?
No.
You'd love it. You'd be great on that.
He doesn't love me.
Let's call him right now.
I want to come back because there's some amazing things that I want to share with your people. I think amazing.
I want to come back in real time, talk about my results.
Yeah.
Of the
Take the
of
course and then
of the
come
course.
That would be awesome.
Come in a toga.
No,
Yes,
you know
excellent.
what? You know what?
Come and do a Heath Ledger impression.
Would you ever join a workshop?
It's so funny. Of course,
It's whatchamacallit. It's
whatever. If it's Gil, my answer is yes. Yes, I've learned how to say. My whole life has been yeah, but
yeah, I know.
and now it's but yeah.
Okay,
You know,
this is going to be awesome. I'm going to give you all these things. I'm going to give you the courses. They're easy, 2 hours to watch. And then you're going to join my next workshop. There's only 8 actors and me. And all we do is run scene after scene after scene. And I am telling you.
I got a knot in my stomach just him because that's my fear. Is we talked about this. Who was it? Who was just here?
Richard Kind.
Richard Kind. Like
Oh, yeah.
singing in front of an audience, even karaoke.
Oh,
No way. Terrified. I could do stand up. I could talk
yeah.
to the president.
Isn't that interesting?
And the idea of doing scenes in a group setting, ooh, which is my way of my contrary action going, well, then that's what you have to do.
Yeah, but it's also one of the reasons why you haven't hit your stride yet as an actor.
Oh, wow.
I
I
honestly.
don't want some Jerry's Deli waiter going, I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, of course. Someone's knocking on the door.
Yeah, we got to give up. Who was that? Is that us? We're done?
They're throwing us out? Oh, okay, fine. I'm hearing things. I'm old.
Like to see them try to fight us.
Okay, do I have another minute and a half?
If you were a fighter, what would your walk-up music be?
Oh, wow.
By the way, shout out to Lady Owl for our new theme song, Rise. We used to play Unchained by Van Halen, but Barry Katz was like, YouTube could take all your videos down whenever they feel like it because it's copyright infringement. I'm like,
Really?
you got to get Gil Junger in here.
You've been doing it? You
did it for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
So now it's Rise by
that's so
Lady
funny.
Owl. Hey now,
How
the
many?
pride
How many
of
people watch this thing?
20,000?
Yeah.
Watch or
Yeah, watch
I don't
the YouTube things. And
Not
do you,
that many,
do you
couple
split
thousand.
it up into little promos and do
no?
that?
This just goes as it is on YouTube, and then we'll do clips on Instagram and whatnot. But the listeners are way higher than it.
Okay.
It's a good rehearsal we've had. You guys ready to start recording?
Okay, I'm good.
The death story.
Let's. No. I'm not. I'll do the death story next time faster. But helping in.
Then I weighed 180 pounds.
Yeah.
Then 185.
That's what I weigh now.
Then 190.
Fucking 180.
Helping actors is your calling.
It's turned into my mission.
Yeah.
It's actually helping creatives with the same mindset that I've suffered through, even though I don't say, oh, I'm not complaining. I've had a ridiculous career, and I'm in development on 3 movies right now. Really? Be nice to me. And one of the movies, by the way, hey, I might hire you.
The Jay Mohr story.
The Jay Mohr saga.
We went in another direction.
Is 10 Things I Hate About Dating. It's going to be in People magazine next week.
My man.
No, it's a big deal.
You're a big deal.
I'm very, very excited about
We got
this.
into like none of the resume. Like this was such a good talk. You'll be back. I'll be back. I will talk about the results.
That'll be a fantastic episode.
I gotta sin bravely, kiddo.
Okay.
It's at Breakthrough THRU Breakthrough Company, and it's Gil Junger GILJUNGER. Gil, I love you, buddy.
All right,
I was looking
super
forward
fun.
to it.
That was
Put your
so
name on
easy
it.
and fantastic.
Some more stories. Tell a friend.
I'm
If
going
you
to
didn't-
send you the
and if-
stuff.
and if you didn't
and you're
like
gonna
it, tell
join.
a friend.
And you're not.
Jay Mohr's my uncle.